The debate over the use of AI is now entering the Oscars race. Just days before Academy Award season really kicks off, a frontrunner is sparking controversy. The editor of the film The Brutalist admitted to using artificial intelligence.
In case you haven't seen it, director Brady Corbet's post-World War II epic stars Adrian Brody and Felicity Jones. It follows the story of an architect who survives the war and escapes Europe to rebuild his life in America. The Brutalist won big at the Golden Globes, but the revelation that the lead actor's accents were enhanced using AI is now prompting some to question whether it should be allowed to enter the race for some of the Oscars' top awards.
For more on this, let's bring in Katie Rich. She is the awards editor at The Ankler and host of the Prestige Junkie podcast. Katie, good to have you with us. Folks may not have seen The Brutalist because it is nearly 4 hours long. But first of all, talk about exactly how AI was used in this film, what the editor's saying about why he feels he needed to use it.
Yeah, so there's two instances, and the editor, David Jansko, was really pretty frank about it in this interview, kind of defending AI as a tool that's useful for filmmakers. So there was one in which they used AI to clean up the Hungarian dialogue spoken by Adrian Brody and Felicity Jones. In most of the movie, they speak English with Hungarian accents that the director, Brady Corbet, said in his statement they worked very hard with a coach to make it right. But there are a couple of sequences where they're reading letters to each other in Hungarian, and the editor, David Jansko, who is Hungarian, talked about how he use his own voice in this AI model to clean up just a couple of vowels or specific sounds in their voices that really, if you're not a native speaker, like no actor could be expected to get right. There's a second instance in which the production design team may have used Midjourney to create some models of sketches of brutalist buildings that were supposedly made by this architect. When Brady Corbet came out with this statement, he said that Judy Becker, the production designer, and her team only did sketches made by human beings. It's hard to tell if there's any actual AI visible in the movie itself. But these are really two pretty small instances in a film that is very handmade. If you see it, it really is almost 4 hours long. It's many hours of incredible craft done with it. And that was what Brady Corbet, I think, wanted to emphasize in his statement, is that this is a movie made on a pretty small budget by a lot of really dedicated craftspeople. And the AI that was used in this is both small and it was overseen by humans. It created jobs in the process of making this work. It was really handmade as much as AI can be handmade. So I think that's something that's a little easy to get track of, or at least a little easy to lose track of, and the fears that a lot of people have around AI in Hollywood.
Another favorite, right? Amelia Perez also facing criticism here. Walk us through, like, why it's such a big deal, how it's different from, like, an action movie using computer-generated effects.
It's a great question. I mean, I think when people hear the word AI, they get this sense of fear. The potential of what AI can do is really vast. I mean, you've had people in charge in Hollywood thinking like, wow, it's great. We don't need to hire real actors anymore. We can just have AI replicas of their voices. And that's literally something that's happened with, some of the voices in Star Wars. There's AI models being built on James Earl Jones, so the voice of Darth Vader can outlive him. These instances are done with the permission of the actors themselves. I think that's the really important thing. When SAG went on strike last year, that they wanted to make sure that AI wouldn't be built on them without their knowledge or consent. And in Amelia Perez is the same thing, where Respeecher, this AI tool, was used to enhance the voices, to increase vocal range, to do all of these really small, subtle things that not only would you not necessarily notice if you're watching it, but the actors were fully aware of, and that's the important difference.
The Oscars just might tell us how much and how people who work in the industry feel about this. All right, Katie Rich, thanks so much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.